Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually going to be checking out some update notes for Enshrouded. I think I've mentioned it before, but Enshrouded is easily one of my, top 5 games, okay? of all time. This game is absolutely incredible. For early access, easily the best one that I've ever played, okay? Now, other than the fact that it is a beast of a game that requires a beast of a computer to run, the game itself it's just stunning, you guys. It's absolutely stunning. It is probably the only game I've ever played that at its initial early access launch, I would have easily paid full price for. The game was just incredible. Even when they first launched it, it was insane. I tried talking my brother into getting it, even back then, and he wouldn't do it, And finally he did it. Finally, one of the most recent updates, actually, he did finally get the game, and he liked it too. And that was, I mean, they've added a lot of content since the first launch into early access. I don't remember how many years that's been. But to the best of my knowledge, I think all of it's been free too. I don't think they have any kind of paid DLCs or anything for this game yet. But anyway, that being said, they announced a new big update. This one here called Thralls of Twilight. Now, I knew this update was coming because I follow all the devs for the big games that I like. I follow them all on not Twitter, whatever it's called now, X, Discord, here on Steam. I follow them in as many places as I can to get all the information that I can, so I know when stuff is coming. And this one, I knew it was coming, but I also wanted to play Return to Moria while I was waiting for this. Now, we've been playing Return to Moria, and initially I thought I would be able to finish it before this came out, but for some reason I thought this was going to be way later than it was. It ended up being May 13th, and I thought it was going to be way later than that. So we haven't finished Return to Moria, but I have noticed that there's really not a lot of people that seem to be interested in Return to Moria. So my plan now is, rather than trying to finish Return to Moria and then jumping into Enshrouded, what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. We're going to watch the trailer. We're going to go through the patch notes. Most of it is just in case there's other people out there that haven't seen it yet or don't want to have to go through all that themselves. We're going to go through and we're going to do that. And I am going to start an Enshrouded playthrough. Now, the few people that have been watching Return to Moria, if you manage to click on this, do you want me to continue Return to Moria? Because I can still do that. I've already dedicated myself to the idea of continuing it if there's people that want to see it. Okay? I'm okay with that. It wouldn't be as often as Enshrouded, but I am still very much of the mindset to make it through Return to Moria, because even off camera for myself, I haven't beat it. So let me know down in the comments if there's anybody that really still wants to see that. But other than that, we're going to jump into this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to watch the trailer, and then we'll go through the patch notes. So let me actually... Oh, my mouse turned off. Okay, mouse is back. I don't know what was going on with that. Can we make this bigger? Let's make it bigger. That's incredibly loud.
Brothers, sisters, our corruption is beautiful. Our pestilence is majesty. The darkness, it feeds us. But in the darkness, they come to ravage, plunder, and burn us. They feast upon our flesh in return to indulge in their vanity and excess. But even as they exuberate, we spread across the land and grow mighty. Patience, for the moon shall rise again, and they will return to find their end. Our air shall choke them. Our earth shall strike them, tempt them, toy with them. rend them. And as the darkest hour pierce their dreams and steal the dawn.
Okay, my Lanta. Alright. So, I have seen that one before. Must be this other one down here I haven't seen. But that's okay. We're not going to watch both. They've got... So it says here, we're just going to go through and we're going to read it now. Now, I know that this was a SHROUD overhaul update. They've obviously added a bunch of enemies that you can see right there. But they didn't show everything in the trailer. They just wanted you to know what the main focus of it was. So we're going to go through here. Dog's getting ready to bark. Okay. She found something to growl at. I can hear her. Okay, sorry guys. Dog started barking at something. Usually somebody walking down the street. Anyway. Greetings, Flameborn. We're thrilled to bring you Thralls of Twilight, a new update filled with darkness, despair, and a bunch of cool new stuff. Not all of it is dark or hopeless. As well as the usual quality of life improvements and fixes. Not only have we revamped the Shroud, we've also given the Nomad Steps and Kindle Wastes a facelift and added an NPC that can also give you a facelift and much more. If you're a story kind of person, we have a fancy trailer here, which we just watched. And as always, if you're in a hurry or don't want to read, you'll find the highlights in the video format here. I don't mind watching that, but I don't mind reading either, because this is where we'll find all of the stuff. Alright, let's see here. So the highlights they've got. The future is foggier than ever before. With Update 6, Thralls of Twilight, we've taken a hard look at gameplay within the Shroud, how it looks, how it feels, and how much time players spend in it. Our goals were clear. Overhaul the Shroud's visual identity, from the fog itself to the landscapes it engulfs across all biomes. Deepen the contrast between gameplay above and within the Shroud by introducing unique new challenges, enemies, and mechanics. Make time spent in the Shroud feel more rewarding by introducing exclusive resources, loot, and powerful incentives. Rework of the Shrouded landscapes and Shroud visuals. The Shroud has received a full visual rework with updated materials and textures. I'm looking forward to that. We've also rewritten our volumetric renderer to give the Shroud and clouds a higher visual fidelity. Ooh. Landscape overhauls across the Shrouded zones added more variety, verticality, and reasons to explore. Over 100 new points of interest, from hidden nooks to substantial new encounters, now enrich the Shrouded zones. Many existing locations have also been visually refreshed or reimagined for better gameplay. Some enemies can apply curses or diseases with their attacks. Curses can now be crafted from the new resources. Alright. New enemies for the Shrouded areas. The Shroud is now more treacherous than ever, with many new enemies, including all new creatures and deadly variants. Expect to be surprised, challenged, and occasionally overwhelmed. Lovely. Introducing the weapon gem system. Okay, this is something I read through a little bit of these notes, just kind of perused the first section. I didn't hear anything about this. I didn't know anything about this. This is really cool. Okay. A new way to empower your weapons with unique effects and abilities. A lot of people that play like RPGs like Diablo and stuff like that, they're going to pretty much know how this works. Weapons of higher rarity now have a chance for a gem slot. Note, this does not apply retroactively to weapons acquired before Update 6. So, if you're playing a game or you already have a game file that you've been working through, any weapons you already have in that game file, you're not going to have any with a gem slot, is what they're saying. Weapon gems can drop from powerful enemies and be socketed into eligible weapons. To socket a gem, players must find mystical locations deep in the Shroud, called gem forges. Gems can be upgraded, recycled, slotted, and removed, providing meaningful customization for your arsenal. Exclusive Shroud rewards. New crafting resources found only in the Shroud unlock powerful new gear and consumables, including new armor sets, new spell types, confusion grenades, critter bombs, mobile repair kits for fixing weapons in the field. See, that's cool. Several older crafting recipes, like enhancing the flame altar, have also been updated to include these new resources, further integrating them into your progression. That's good. I'm really glad they've done that. Alright, new risks and rewards after dark. Oh boy. As with the Shroud, we've expanded nighttime gameplay with new challenges and, more importantly, exclusive rewards for players bold enough to explore after sundown. The night is no longer just a time to survive, it's a time to thrive. Oh, I like that. Night enemy patrols. Nighttime enemy activity has been ramped up. Scavenger patrols now roam the roads under cover of night looking for rare resources and items. Keep your torch close and your weapon closer. Groups of the Fel roam the lands above at night, trying to temporarily spread the shroud. Really? That's cool. Night blooming flora. New plants can now be found blooming at night across all biomes. These rare blooms offer unique crafting materials and special food. They are also used for stronger versions of existing potions. Oh, that's pretty cool. Night temples. Introducing night temples, a brand new type of point of interest found in every region of Embervale. These temples can only be entered at night. Their doors remain sealed during the day, feature all new architectural elements, and are filled with dangerous traps. Offer exclusive rewards for those who dare to brave their depths. Okay, that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's any of the buildings that they've already had in the game that didn't necessarily have anything that you could do with them? I don't know. Biome visual upgrades. Across the world, we've enhanced the visual quality of several biomes with lush new vegetation, refined landscapes, and reworked textures. These upgrades bring more depth and beauty to exploration, whether you're climbing a cliffside or crossing a war-torn valley. The Nomad Highlands and Kindle Wastes in particular have received a comprehensive visual overhaul, breathing new life into their unique environments. Additionally, many points of interest throughout the world have been reworked, not just in terms of visuals, but also in enemy placement and encounter design, offering more meaningful and immersive challenges. That's rough. So if you knew the net map before, chances are you don't know it now. Player customization improvements. Update 6 brings major upgrades to player customization, giving you more ways to define your look, both through armor styling and character appearance. In-game player customization. Meet Elio Ricci, the barber, a new survivor who can be found and unlocked via a dedicated quest. Once placed in your base, Elio, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name just yet, grants access to the full character customization menu, allowing you to tweak your appearance at any time. Several new character presets and customization options are now available. Through newly added quests, you can also discover additional hairstyles, hair colors, and eye colors hidden throughout Embervale. Oh my god, I love that! Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. Tintable armor and vanity outfits. Most armor sets and vanity outfits can now be tinted using a brand new crafting system. A new tinting station for your base to create and apply color palettes. Oh my gosh. Color palette items can be found and crafted to create endless customization for most of your existing armor pieces. Technical improvements. CPU performance for multiplayer hosts and dedicated servers has been significantly optimized. Okay, that's pretty cool. Kind of hope that means that it works better in single player, though, too. Several issues around the topic of brightness and bloom have been fixed and improved to create a more balanced visual quality. As we understand that there is a vast variety of lighting conditions and monitor types, we've also added brightness and bloom adjustment sliders to allow for better customization. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. To create more beautiful sunsets and sunrises, we've improved sky and atmosphere rendering, as well as our day and night transition. Okay, alright. Lighting, tone mapping, shadows, and global illumination have been improved, especially trees and other large objects now participate in global illumination. Okay. So lighting in forest and densely overgrown areas is much more immersive. I hope that doesn't impact performance, though. Like, I hope that isn't like a huge performance impact. As mentioned earlier, our volumetric rendering has been rewritten to produce a more detailed presentation for the shroud and clouds in the sky with a stronger atmosphere and god rays. Okay. Please note, work on rendering improvements is still an ongoing process, and we will continue to work hard to further improve visual quality and performance with future updates. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. In my opinion, visually, this game is breathtaking. They've done a fantastic job. It looks fantastic. Performance, however, they definitely need to work on, because as the game is right now, you need an absolute monster of a computer to run it well if you want it to look decent. Like, even just looking decent, you need a powerhouse of a PC. So, I do hope that they get that figured out. Alright, so still working on it. Visible barrier when entering the shroud is still being worked on, especially the barrier when reaching a shroud level that is deadly is very difficult to see at the moment. This will be addressed in an upcoming patch. Shadows cast by trees can flicker noticeably. Okay, alright. So, yeah, that is 100% an issue when, like, the shroud. So, something I did notice the last time I was playing this game is there are times where you think you're going into a patch of Deadly Shroud, and it ends up not being Deadly Shroud. So, I can't count how many times Liz and I would get stuck trying to figure out how to get through this patch of Shroud, only to find out that it wasn't Deadly Shroud that we were trying to get through. But we thought it was, so we were like, well, we can't go this way. What other way are we supposed to go? So, yeah, I definitely understand that one. And they aren't... Oh! What happened? No. We need that. We need to come down here. But yes, they're not wrong there. That is definitely an issue. Okay, new technology, performance, and technical improvements. Shroud rendering was completely reworked. Let me see, more advanced lighting. Basis for exciting new features and future updates. Oh, okay. Cloud rendering has been reworked. Sunlight now reacts more realistically to the clouds in the sky. Oh, okay. Several issues of bloom and exposure. Bloom intensity can now be adjusted. Brightness can now be adjusted. Let's see here. Sharpness setting in the graphical settings has been reworked. With Update 6, the settings are reset to default. Please readjust if necessary. Colors of the sky and the atmosphere, especially during the sunset and sunrise, have been improved. Improved the influence of sky light for the dynamic global illumination. Okay. Trees and other large objects now participate in global illumination. Yep, we saw that. Improved the visual quality of LOD models. Added subsurface textures for tree and bush foliage. This is a lot that they've... Okay. Fixed instances where sunlight would leak through solid ground or walls. Yeah, I've seen a few of those. Fixed instances where terrain would show cracks, allowing a peek into the endless void of the beyond, which is surprisingly unremarkable. Yes, that line right there, I know exactly what they're talking about. I've come across a few of those myself. Increase the precision of the collision for terrain. Okay, good. This helps specifically for loot drops that previously dropped on the ground and vanishes into the terrain. Hope it was nothing important. I don't remember if I've ever lost anything important, but I have definitely lost things underground. Let's see here. XESS is now supported when using Intel graphics cards. I do not have an Intel graphics card, so I have no idea what that is. Fixed an issue that caused freshly started dedicated servers to show version mismatch. Oh, okay. That's something that almost always happens with games like this. Whenever they do a big update, there's always something that complains about the versions not matching. Let's see. Anti-aliasing in the character menu has been improved. Okay, that's helpful, because I can tell you one thing. In the character menu at the very start of the game, before you even jump in, that needed some work. It really did. Re-enabled the current Steam API for network connections. Changes have been made to take into account users hosting on home networks, so that's good. That's good. Further improved the compilation speed of VFX shaders in the main menu. Yes! Thank you. That's helpful. Fixed several rare crash reports by players. Okay. Combat and gameplay. Dangerous enemies now have the chance to drop a new gameplay item, the weapon gem. Once found, weapon gems can be slotted into weapons that have the weapon gem slot at gem forges, which are in the Shroud. Weapon gems add specific bonuses and perks to the weapon that they are slotted into. Many new enemy types to the game. Some are completely new, others are variations of existing enemies. 2 new channeled beam spells to the game. One heals, the other one really doesn't. Oh. I love the way they write these things. All wand projectiles are now moving noticeably faster. This will increase the likelihood of hitting moving enemies when using wands. I don't actually play with magic. I'm not really a big fan of playing as a magician in like any game that has those styles of characters, you know what I mean? Like, you usually get to choose between a warrior, a rogue, or a mage. Some games you can kind of do a combination. I'm a rogue. I'm a rogue person. I like, daggers and bows. That's just who I am. My friend Liz likes playing as a mage, though, so it always seems to work out. And then Aaron likes to do, like, the warrior type. So we always have someone in our little group that's willing to do it, or that's willing to be, the players that... I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Variety. We always have the variety, because we have someone that prefers something over the other. But I'm not really a big fan of playing with magic. I'm really not. I don't know why. It's just, like, I don't have anything against it, and I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but I just don't like playing as a mage in these games. But, I mean, Liz might be happy to hear that. There are now 2 very distinct types of wands. Very fast-shooting wands, and wands with multiple projectiles per shot. Okay, alright, I got you. Slightly increased spell casting speed for several spells, including fireballs and ice bolts. Okay. Added a wide range of new crafting materials and lootable resources to the game. Okay, and enemy loot, nice. Elite and boss enemies now drop legendary runes, which are required to unlock higher tier perks of legendary weapons. Oh! Okay. Added item level information to all material resource items. This information can be used by players to prioritize which items are worth keeping in the backpack and which can be discarded should the backpack fill up. No way! Okay. That's cool. Newly crafted backpack expansions now offer an additional row of backpack space each. Existing players have to craft and equip the backpack again to gain access to the expansion. Okay. Okay, existing players. So this is for any character that you currently already have. Made a first version of the backpack extensions available earlier in the crafting progression. Okay, that helped. That's very helpful. Added a craftable ward item in the Albany of Summits tier. Oh, all right. Reworked the staggering system for enemies. Some enemies can now apply diseases or curses with their attacks. Oh boy. Curses against such... Oh, cures against such curses and diseases can be crafted from the newly available resources, right. Chance for the curse feature to be triggered can be tweaked or completely disabled in the world settings. Oh, all right. Repair kits can now be crafted as consumables to restore weapon durability while exploring. That's very, very nice. It really is. Added several new foods, potions, and other consumables that can be crafted with the new resources. Night plants and enemies. Sleeping now also slowly regenerates health, finally. Oh, I didn't know that was such a big deal. Really? Increase the XP needed for level ups to balance out the new quests and other ways to gain experience along the journey. Oh, I wonder if they've increased the level cap. Added directional hit reactions to many enemies for more visual impactful damage feedback. Oh, okay. That's kind of neat. The player collision now correctly shrinks vertically when sneaking and sitting, so you can finally crawl into narrow spaces. Player collision. Oh! Okay. Nope, I understand what they're saying there. Yeah, there were a lot of doorways that you should have been able to crouch through, and you just couldn't. Several new weapons can be found as unique lore weapons in the Albany of Summits. Oh, okay. Switch the item rarity between the Gemini Ring and the Ring of Endless Life to match their actual values. Oh, alright. Fixed an issue with bows that led to inconsistent power levels. You know what? I always play with bows, and I don't know what bug that is, because I don't think I ever really had that problem. Tweak the shape of the Shroud Banshees so that it's easier to hit them with melee weapons. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, because, like, if you've got someone that doesn't really like playing with ranged, or doesn't like playing with magic, or, like, you know, like someone like Aaron, who always plays as, like, a warrior, or some kind of, like, barbarian-type character, the Banshees and the, gosh, I can't remember what they're called, the vicious somethings that fly, any of the Shroud enemies that fly are impossible to hit with melee weapons. Like, it forces people who like to be warriors to have to carry at least a bow around with them. I mean, you kind of still have to, or at least you have to have a friend with some kind of ranged something, because there are a lot of, like, switches and stuff that you can only access with a bow, particularly in the spires. That's what they're called, the ancient spires. There's going to be a lot of them where, to get the next door switch, you absolutely have to have something ranged, and I think it's a bow. I don't think magic actually can hit them, but I've never tested, because I don't play with magic, so there is that. Let's see here. Several new weapons can be found as unique lore weapons. Yep, we saw that. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. Increase the stamina cost for the jump attack skill from 25 to 50. It should be a lot less spammable now. Reduce the stamina cost for evasion from 33 to 20. Okay, I mean, I guess that's kind of a fair balance, but that sucks a little, because I like to get the jump attack. Fix some incorrect calculations of mana cost when casting spells. Okay. Tweaked projectile parry window to be easier and improved visual communication for parry ability. Okay, that's nice. That I like, because when they introduced the parry system, that was something I was trying to, like, perfect the last time I played. And it's hard. It's rough. I mean, you have, like, a split second to do it and to get it, like, to get the actual parry, like, correctly. It was rough. Fixed several issues. Oh, wait, no. Fixed an issue with channeling spells that would cause dead enemies to still be targeted during the casting. You know, I kind of remember that happening to, like, everything. Like, even when you were fighting things with a sword or fighting things with a bow, but, I mean, it's possible that those were, you know, improved first. But now it looks like if you're using some kind of channeling spell, that's no longer a problem. Fix several issues with ranged enemy behavior when trying to find a good attack position. Likewise, the behavior of melee enemies when trying to reach the player has been improved. Oh, no. Oh. So they fixed their pathing AI is what they're saying. Oh my god, that's lovely. Slightly reduce the walking speed of the player character when moving backwards while in combat. No. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Are you kidding me? Like, I was able to just keep backing up and... we'll have to see. Okay. Controls for range combat are more precise now. Okay. Preventing accidentally shooting another arrow or spell by pressing the shoot button or key just a little bit too long. Activating aim mode and charging the shot at the same time now works reliably. Additionally, input buffering for range combat has been improved for more fluid combat experience while using bows, wands, and staves. Alright. Fixed several issues while patrolling and movement of enemies and farm animals, such as incorrect stop-and-go behavior. Okay, well, I'll tell you one thing I hope. I hope that the farm animals can no longer just glitch through fences and stuff. Added more fixes to prevent animals from leaving the player base. Come back, Snowy. Okay. Fixed fallen player character corpses rotating to face their target-locked enemies. I think I've seen that. Stun VFX is now correctly removed, along with stun effects when using emergency blink. Correctly removed? Okay. Fixed a bug with a locked treasure chest that would play an opening animation while tinkering with the lock. Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Boars no longer lose their awareness of what is going on while fleeing and no longer stand around at a time when danger that is you is still near. Fixed a camera glitch when using the staff while having the skill Eagle Eye unlocked. Oh, well, that's nice. So, this one right here doesn't make any sense to me. The stun VFX is now correctly removed, along with the stun effects when using emergency blink. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I wonder if it's just the first ability? So, this blink ability is like an evasion skill that you can unlock, where your dodge becomes this like kind of teleportation thing. And there's a couple of different tiers of it. The regular tier is just that you can do it, and then you can upgrade it to make it so that I think using it makes it so that it stuns the enemy, and then the other one or something it I think explodes or something. I can't remember them both, but I wonder if they're talking about just the top tier, the first tier. I wonder if that's what they're talking about, because I really hope that they didn't take out the ability to stun enemies with that, because I thought that was one of the abilities of it, but I don't know. I'll have to get to it to find out. Player customization. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Added a new survivor to the game, the Barber. When placed in the player base, he offers full player customization while following quests all over Embervale. Additionally, player customization options can now be unlocked. Added 4 new character presets, 7 new hairstyles, several new hair colors, several new eye colors, and hiding armor is now possible for each armor part, not just helmets and gloves. Oh! So if you want to run around without any pants on, you can just go for it, I guess. Building and crafting, my favorite part. Okay, edited post-release. Somehow we forgot to mention we added 2 new construction blocks and 1 new roof block. Anyway, they're the Starlight block, which sounds really pretty, can't wait to see it, the Midnight Tomb block, and Desert Shingles roof block. Sorry about that. Added a new crafting station for the player base, the coloring station, for crafting color palettes and applying new colors to armor and outfits. Super excited for that. Added a new craftable item type to the game, color palettes. Once crafted, it can be applied to armor and outfit pieces at the coloring station to change the tinting of pieces. Several new armor sets can be crafted at the various craftings. Oh, no way! A new farming animal can be added to the player base once tamed. The round-billed sailor from the Kindle Wastes. It will produce feathers when sheltered and fed. Oh, that's interesting. Survivors are now spending their time more convincingly. For example, there are now fewer chances of a survivor going back and forth between 2 points of interest in the player base constantly. Also added several new animations to all survivors. Are now spending their time more convincingly. Okay. This must be the NPC survivors they're talking about. When you let them wander around. Okay. A new feature has been added to the Flame Altar. When placing a player base onto a location that contains progress-relevant unique items or quest rewards, these items can now be collected from this particular Flame Altar as a fallback. Please note that items can only be collected from the flame altar once. Okay. So I'm assuming what that means is if like you put your flame down somewhere where there's like a quest related item, you're just gonna be able to collect that item from the flame altar itself. But it says you can only collect them once. So I guess pay attention to that. Further expanded the range of quests that can be completed despite a player base being present at a quest step location. Further expanded. Okay, alright. Added many new terrain materials to be used in the... Ooh! Okay! Fixed unlock criteria for several road terrain materials. Revelwood dirt can now correctly be used in terraforming. Okay. Added several new props for the player base as craftable recipes. Ooh, I like that. I like decorations. Added numerous formerly unavailable kitchen props to live with... Yay! Oh my goodness. Your kitchens will have never been this messy. Sorry, we mean realistic. Added display props for musical instruments. Upgrading the flame altar now has unique sounds and visuals effects per upgrade level. Ooh, that's cool. Little but cool. Fix the comfort level for paper lanterns and sofas. Okay. Fix several recipe sorting issues. Improve the client-side prediction for terraforming terrain. Ooh, I like that. I actually really like that because if I'm, playing single player most of the time, I want things to be more optimized when it comes to client-side things. Alright, game world. Add a new type of point of interest as numerous locations to the game world in the Shroud. Shroud layers. Okay. So we've got Shroud layers we need to look for. New type of location has been added in which the gem forges can be found, used for upgrading, recycling, adding, and removing weapon gems. A new type of location was introduced in the Shroud where dangerous enemies can be summoned. Ooh. Oh boy. Many new challenging night temples have been added to the world. Their doors only open from dusk till dawn, but behind the traps and puzzles, new rewards are waiting. Added many new smaller and larger points of interest to the shrouded areas, such as abandoned settlements and ruins. Okay. Significantly reworked the landscape in many areas of Embervale. The Nomad Highlands and the Kindle Waste have especially received a visual overhaul, among others with new terrain topology, new and updated vegetation, and terrain texture improvements. I didn't play Enshrouded that long ago, so hopefully my memory serves me well enough that I might be able to notice some of these. Improve the selection and position of enemies at numerous older points of interest in camps. Specifically, combat encounters in many locations in the Albany summits have been tweaked for balancing and variety. Okay, so the last time Liz and I played, we started to explore the Albany summits. We have not made it completely into it. So I'm not as familiar with the Albany summits. I know that. But looking forward to exploring it for sure. Added multiple new quests, introducing the various new gameplay elements. Yep, that's good. Some locations now have moving platforms as gameplay elements. Okay. Fixed an issue with door puzzle indicators not showing their on state correctly from certain distances. I don't know if I've had that problem, but okay. Updated and polished several older plant models. Added several new bushes and trees. Several new plants that only appear and bloom at night. That I'm really interested in. They can be collected as resources for new recipes. Rework the plant overgrowth of numerous ruins and settlements all over. Ooh. Fix numerous minor level design issues at locations all over Embervale, such as blocked paths. You shall now pass. Oh, that's funny. Fixed issues the terrain texture blending into the game world, thereby improving the visuals of the scenery. Improve the particle effects when using explosives for many terrain materials. Okay, that'll be nice. New stacks of explosive barrels have been introduced. Oh boy. Loot chests are now correctly shown as open when they have been emptied. Oh, I like that! I like that. That's cool. Players now sink into deadly red shroud mud. No! Oh, my Lanta! Oh, that's rough. That's not cool. Because, like, for a while, like, you had a couple of seconds you could get out of the deadly shroud. Oh, my Lanta. Liz is now going to have to be extra, extra careful not to be falling off any cliffs into deadly shroud. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Added more occurrences for shroud time, restoring hourglass capsules into shrouded areas to compensate for the additional areas to discover within the shroud. That is nice, because I have noticed there's not a lot of those. There is at, like, points of interest in the shroud. So, like, the salt mine, the saline springs or whatever that one place is called. You know, like, you're gonna find those capsules there, but you really wouldn't find them, like, if you're wandering through the Shroud and you're trying to, like, get from, like, point A to point B, and there was, like, a large stretch of Shroud you had to go through to get to it. You're not gonna come across those capsules very often, so that's nice. Added moths to the Rebel Woods. Moths can only be collected at night. Okay. Footsteps now kick dirt and other particles into the correct direction. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a problem. Tweak the durability of several props. Okay. We've changed the user interface. Multiple new menus support the new gameplay features, weapon gems, armor tinting, and player customization at the barber NPC. Okay. Item comparison widget has been added to the backpack and equipment menu. A new widget has been added to the map, showing a list of all available fast travel destinations and giving an overview of the current locations. Okay. Difficulty ratings to quests relative to... Oh, my Lanta! Oh my god. That has probably been, like, my biggest request for the entire time that I've played this game. Okay? So, basically, guys... And I don't want to call it hand-holding, but... because I don't think it's quite as bad as that. But this game throws you to the wolves, in the sense that, like, it kind of tells you what it wants you to do. But you get to a point where there's so many quests, especially side quests, like the NPCs will give you, that they don't tell you what a recommended level is. So... you'll go and you'll do these quests, and they're either going to be way too hard, or they're going to be way too easy. Now, here's the thing. Problem with it being way too hard? Obvious. You're not meant to be there yet. The problem with it being way too easy? A lot of times, when you get rewards for these quests, they're going to be like armor or weapons, or spells and whatnot. And the problem is, if you go and you do these quests too late, then the rewards... become mute. Like, you can't use it because you're such a high level, you've already got better gear, you know? And I can't count how many times I ran into that, where I would get to a quest and I'd get like a legendary sword or something, but it was like a completely poop sword compared to what I was already like running around with. So that is fantastic. It's a big deal, and I'm so happy they finally did that. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Ooh, okay. Added colors to quest locations in the world map, indicating the relative difficulty of the quest. I like that too. If a quest has a search area as a step, reaching this search area now triggers a correct notification at the HUD compass, rather than generic location reached as previously. Okay, alright, I like that. The map marker filter menu has been reworked, and several improvements have been added to the map markers in general. The compass in the HUD now correctly shows if a goal, such as a tombstone, is below or above the current position of the player character. Armor items can now be equipped directly from chests. Oh, okay. Detailed info for items has been reworked. Damage types are now displayed separately. If upgrading a weapon adds several instances of a perk, then this is now shown in a more condensed view. Also, fixed several cases where damage values were calculated incorrectly in the item info. Okay, I like that. Weapon upgrading menu now has more details about upgrading costs. Buffs, debuffs, and states are now displayed on enemy health bars. Oh! Yeah! Fixed an issue that showed interactions with furniture and other props in the game world, even though the interaction wasn't possible. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Fixed world map loading issues when playing in resolutions such as 1610. Okay. When closing the journal and then reopening it, the last open tab is now opened at the default position rather than reopening at a sub-menu within the tab. Oh, okay. Renaming the flame altar is no longer possible while the player base is being deactivated. I didn't know people were doing that. Equipping rings from the backpack is now correctly working. Added new triggers to quests so the personal quests get completed more reliably while playing in a party. Okay. Fixed an issue that could lead to a long player health bars overlapping the compass at the center of the screen. Oh, yeah. I could see that being a problem. Fixed several menu layout issues when text scaling is set to 140%. Reworked the layout of several lists in the join menu. We split up the server list into player-hosted games and dedicated servers, which allows for more accurate searches. Okay. reworked the server search by IP widget. It now shows the necessary port information and also allows directly joining the found server. Okay. Fixed the issue where very long server names could overlap the player count. Added multiple fixes and improvements to the joining menu. Added a link in the server list menu to open a Discord server dedicated to group searching for players and vice versa. Okay. Location names are now only shown for longer when arriving at a location for the first time. In subsequent visits, the location name is only shown for a short duration. Fixed loot log being displayed when quick moving items from the action bar to the backpack. Finding legendary weapons now triggers a loot message at the center of the screen for a short moment. Fixed an issue that caused the character customization to not reset properly when leaving character creation before confirming. Added failsafes to several quests to avoid instances where they couldn't be solved correctly. Okay, that's nice. I like that. Fixed an issue that caused item icons in the inventory to turn black when drag and dropping an item from the chest to the backpack while the context menu is open. Improved the settings for the Frost UI vignette to give players better options to show as much or as little of the vignette as preferred. That's nice. I like that. So that they're talking about in the Albanese Summits, because when they added that update, they added temperature as something your character is going to have to go through. And when you start to get cold, the screen that they're talking about when you're cold is kind of overwhelming. It's kind of overbearing, and you can't see very well. Let's see here. Fixed an issue with factory workstations. Now possible to add either 1 or stacks of 10. Oh, I like that. When they're currently not running. Okay, cool. I like that. Several plants received a new inventory icon, such as sugarcane and mushroom seedlings. Added several unique names and descriptions to items and props. Okay. All right. I'm happy with that. Sound occlusion system. Sound path tracing for sounds, creating more natural soundscape. Improve the selection of the correct ambient sounds. New music tracks for the new types of locations. Player sounds to player emotes where voiceover could be expected. Fixed several small issues with UI sounds. Okay. If you read this far, thank you for sticking it out. We hope you enjoy Enshrouded's 6th update. Let us know what you think below. And on feature upvote in our new Update 6 Mega Threads too. The team at Keen Games. All right, I'm going to go ahead and rate up. I'm glad that there's a lot of people that have already done so. Can I not do it? Is it because I read so long? Whatever. Maybe I did. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. But anyway, that's the update notes, guys. If you want to try and check out like that other highlight video, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But that is my my game plan now, is I think I'm going to jump into starting an Enshrouded playthrough with you guys so we can check out a lot of these new features. I'm going to probably spend some time tweaking my settings for the game. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was going to say controls, but no. Settings. I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to tweak my settings. I want to see what the NVIDIA app recommends for it. So we'll see how that goes. But the thing is like I want the game to look good because I'm obviously playing it for you guys. And I want the game to run good as well because I'll tell you what, running around and having like lag every 3 seconds, not fun. Not fun. Makes the game very difficult to enjoy. And I love this game. I want to be able to enjoy it. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I really hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day. I hope to see everybody come back for our Enshrouded playthrough. And until then, bye guys!